Hi guys, I don't, right, now you can see me. Today, in this video, I'm gonna be talking about a subject which I know I'm gonna get a lot of contradictory messages on about, because it could also be, because I'm talking about, and I could get in trouble for talking about this with the government, because it's time travel that I want to talk about today. And I'm going to be showing some proof that I've found on the internet, and yes, it probably won't really make any sense as to why I want to do this video, but why not? What have I got to lose? And before I get started, make sure you like and subscribe for any of my future content. So guys, I have managed to find, as I've said, I've managed to find some proof of time travel, as well as being able to find some of the science behind it and how time travel could be done. And for the next sort of clip, or for the next sort of bit of the video, I'm not going to be showing my face, just simply because my computer will lag too much. So okay, I'll try and get it loaded now. You can see here, I don't know if you can see my mouse right now. Hold on guys, right, I'm sure you see where this circle is. That's a mobile phone, and that was taken at Mike Tyson's match back in 1995. And I'm not going to read this all out, just because this video will be probably half an hour to an hour long, and I don't have that long to film this video today. I'm pretty sure you've read it all now, but pause the video if you want to just look at it again. Then there's this. I don't quite know what this is of. I'll actually have a look and see. Ah, yes, I've heard of pictures like this. It's basically she's using like a mobile phone type device to talk to someone, but I don't see the mobile phone. No, wait, yes I do. It's there. I think it's just under the hat. Right, on to the third. 1973. That's when that was taken. Now on to here. And yes, there is two people in here that are apparent time travellers. And yes, this was in 1941. There's the guy in the red circle, and then approximately one, two, he's like three, he's like two across, but if you count the lady in between them, he's technically three people across. There's like a woman roughly halfway up the photo. Yeah, roughly halfway up the photo. He's just slightly more to the centre of the picture. I wish you could see what I was indicating at, but he's here. As I said, 1941, during the reopening ceremony of the Southwark Bridge in Goldbridge, British Columbia. There's a more modern camera-like device in his hands. Yeah, I've heard about that. Like, personally, I think this is, like, this next one's fake. About a man from 2256. It could just be some random guy who claims to be from then, and people believed him to an extent. It's probably just that, so I'm just gonna skip this. There's a Swiss ring watch. It was found in a tomb, and it was all 400 years old. 100 years old. I don't understand that myself. Interestingly, the time on it's 10:06. That's, I presume there's a hand for 10 somewhere there. Yeah, that's roughly 10 o'clock, and that's roughly 6 minutes. So if there was no tampering, then the watch was in. Then no one knows how it didn't get in there. Well, because if the tomb hasn't been there's been no tampering in with that tomb for about 300 years or so. So I'd imagine that, yeah, time travel must have been involved. I'm gonna skip this one just because in fact, you know what? It's not loading. So on to the science now. So the theory. Pause the video to look at it. So I'm sure you've paused it to have a look at it. If you haven't, then I suggest you do, because I'm trying to speed this up. I believe wormholes could be used if they do exist. The progressive, or in fact, I'll read the first sentence. So, the progressive route to time travelling, jumping through wormholes, are a little skeptical, as wormholes have not yet been proven to exist. However, scientists do believe they are. I'll read the second paragraph as well. The idea is that wormholes are essentially a shortcut through space and time. Wormholes are posed to be so small that even a person could not fit through them. However, if they could be manipulated and controlled in size, could propose the ability to travel through space much faster, but also through time. Currently, wormholes uphold strength as to future possibilities of time travel. That, I don't know if that's what a wormhole would look like, but I'm guessing it might. Black holes. I'm sure you know what a black hole is, and I'm gonna skip that. It's the speed of light. I'd say that's a confirmed one for time travel, because it's a fast. But for those of people who haven't read it, the speed of light is the fastest anything can go, as far as we know. If something travels faster than the speed of light, the time for the object to reach its destination would come out to a negative number. Thus, theoretically, it would travel back in time. The huge flaw in this theory is that nothing can go faster than the speed of light. Also, scientists researching this concept have just found that there would have to be a variety of factors being met for this to work. Just travelling faster than the speed of light would not necessarily meet all factors for time travel. However, travelling at the speed of light may change the speed at which time exists. If you were to travel close to the speed of light, surely the concept of time travel would become slow. 1 hour of travelling close to the speed of light would be the equivalent of years on Earth. The grandfather paradox. This theory is less about time travel and more about erasing yourself from existence altogether. If someone was able to travel to the past, it could cause a lot of harm to their future. Take the grandfather paradox, for example. Suppose you invent and build a time machine, then you travel back in time and meet your grandfather before he had any children. Then, for reasons yeah, you can see the word. You kill him. Now you would never have been born. The time travel that you got back to the good old days was never built. In many shows and movies, we have seen evil traveling back to the past to try and kill someone before they could do good in the future. This occurs in the movie The Terminator. As fascinating as time travel is, it would have a lot of repercussions if it were possible. However, to combat the flaw of this paradox is the conceptual idea that your old timeline would still exist. Travelling back just created a new timeline. That's what I believe in. The problem is that if the future of humanity is injected with the technology to time travel, we would not already be meeting people from the future. We would not be travelling back. The timeline would have already needed to exist and be a permanent existence, knowing the exact standpoint written into the exact permanence of time. Therefore, the concept to travel into the future seems to be more physically supported by the law of physics. Right, that's that. Jesus Christ, I lost track of time. Right, one second. So, guys, I just wanted to, right at the end of the video, just explain some of the stuff. The grandfather paradox is basically where if you were to go, let's say, into your own personal history, like, let's say, back to when your grandfather or grandmother or whoever she is was a kid, let's say, and killed her, you wouldn't exist. That's basically how it would work. But because of how time travel actually works, to my knowledge, it would create an alternate timeline in which you'd exist in, but at the same time, you didn't exist. I can make a reference. In Doctor Who, I'm trying to think of the episode. Oh yes, in season 6 of Doctor Who, that not classic Who, the new Who, which would have been filmed in approximately late 2010 into 2011/early 2012. I believe, well, mainly 2011, I think, or 2011 or 2012, somewhere there. There was the Doctor died at the start of season 6, but then he didn't die because it was his future self that died. And the science behind that would make it so he did and didn't exist. But basically, it's time travel. It's like if you went back into the past, your present would become your future, I believe, and your past would also become your future, something like that. But your future would become your past, something like that. I don't honestly know to my full extent. And in Doctor Who, say 6 of Doctor Who, whenever it was filmed, the Doctor died, but he didn't die, he survived. Because Wither Song didn't kill him. And time disintegrated, and both the Doctor and Wither were at the epicenter. It's like when there's an earthquake, there's like an area which is affected the worst, or where it would happen mainly, and they were the epicenter. And this video's dragged on long enough today. So, fly.